Hi guys, it's me back with another review. This is kind of a comparison between the Hasbro Powermaster Optimus Prime and the Takara Ginrai figure, which is kind of based off the same mold with some differences. The reason for this kind of review comparison is because Hasbro are also going to be releasing this figure as part of a pack. They're going to be calling it Magnus Prime. So just so people can see, what they're going to be getting with this versus this one, if they want to get rid of this one. Takara are releasing this one, and they're also releasing a God Bomber figure, which will then combine with this one to become a large figure. I forget the name of it because I don't sort of I'm not really that familiar with the Ginrai figure and all the kind of history behind it. I know a little bit about it, but not enough to sort of go into great detail about it. And you can see there's a lot of similarities between the mold, but if you look closely, there are also a lot of differences. So what I'll do is go through them top to tail in each of the modes. So the heads are actually the same mold from what I can see, but they're cast in different plastic. So the top, this one here is done in a more kind of royal blue, and this it's got more of a metallic finish. The silver's kind of done the same. I'll go over the Titan Masters in a minute. This whole section's completely different on this one to the other one. So if I bring this one together, as you can see, as I bring this one closer together, he's going to fall over slightly, and I'll get onto the issues with the legs in a bit. So yeah, if I bring this one up close, you can see all around here you've got this kind of what looks like the built-in engine block of the Powermaster Prime with some stickers on here. This is all painted silver in here, around here as well. You've got stickers which are added here, which are part of a different set, which is still a Hasbro set, which adds some nice details here. The red here is all painted here and here, whereas on the Takara version they've actually gone for red plastic with the engine block looking slightly different, and kind of totally different kind of look to the front here. This does look more like the original kind of Powermaster section in here, so there is that. This mold looks pretty much the same on the shoulders here, but it's all in red plastic, whereas on the other one they've gone for paint that's been added onto that one, and grey plastic for these bits, these top bits, as opposed to red plastic for these. The guns are the same mold, just done in a slightly different plastic. So this one's a little bit more clear, a bit brighter, whereas this one's a little bit more kind of dull off grey, I would say. This kind of crotch section here is all done in white plastic painted red, whereas on here it's just a solid grey piece. The arms are completely different. So with the Hasbro one here, it comes up and you can see the back of it is all it's all folded up on here, and the hands you cannot move, but you've got the arms open up. And how you actually attach the guns is you see there's a little slot in there where you slot the guns and the hands fit around it. On the Takara version, you have different guns to start off with, but the hand is just a solid piece here, which you then pop it in, and you don't have this bit coming out. And they're done slightly differently, so they're cast in blue plastic painted red, and the guns themselves, look, they're in blue plastic with like a gunmetal finish on most of them, and those do also look as if they peg together as well. No, I don't think they do. They do if you peg them together sideways like that, so you can do that if you want to. Let's just peg that back in here, so you can see you've got that slightly different look on that compared to the hand, and they are different as well. The legs, top of this, you can see this different sculpt again. Then this leg section here is the same for this bit here, but then the feet are completely different. So the feet on the Hasbro one are like Ultra Magnus, where they flip out like this, and you've got toes which come out like this, and to pose them, you sort of kind of splay the legs out and get the feet however you want to, and then it means they're not quite touching ground all over, but you can get some decent poses out of him. On this one here, you've got these bits here which are more or less used for the combined mode, and I don't really like the look of them because they don't come out as such. You can twiddle these bits about, and you do have a tilt in there as well, and this kind of support of the back, but this always seems to want to fold up. So although you can in theory get him in a better position here, he kind of wants to lean back because those ankle supports aren't quite at it all the time, and the front of the feet just don't look right in my opinion, but that's entirely up to you. The guns, like I said, come off here. Back of him pretty much tidies up exactly the same. You see some difference in there in terms of how the which will come through into the vehicle mode, but we'll cover that later on. So the Takara ones, you've got these two guns here, which I mentioned you can push together like that if you want to. So you've got that. You can probably get a Master in there if you want to. But yeah, I prefer to have them like that. And with the Hasbro one, you get these two black guns, no paint at all on them. In fact, they're slightly off black, I think. So you get this one here. These are basically remolded, well, just reused from the Ultra Magnus one. So with these, he had bits that plugged in, which then looked like a hammer, I think. And then this gun here, which is not too bad, and that's the bit where it plugs in there. The heads, the Titan Masters are different. They open up the same, so I'll just get them both off so you can have a look at them. So this one on the right is the Titan Master for the Hasbro version, and on the left is the Titan Master for the Takara version. So both very different. On the right here we've got more of an Orion Pax look, and this one we have got a proper Optimus Prime look, and I really dig that, the detail that they've used on it. Again, you can see the difference in the colours that have been used, but nice, you've got both. And then fold them out here. The Hasbro one haven't got any paint on here. You've got slightly different moulded plastic for the arms, different from the other kind of Titan Masters that you see. And then this one here does have a little bit of paint and looks a bit more like the Powermaster that you got with the original. So he's got black feet here, little red arms, and even the face is painted blue. And I think it's supposed to be skin colour in the face bit, but it's hard to tell in this one. It looks a bit more kind of orangey in there. So you've got that as well. What we'll do now is we'll have a look at them in their vehicle mode, and we'll have a look at the differences there, and then we'll go up and have a look at their base mode. Sorry, okay. The other real quick thing I forgot to mention, it's quite obvious when you see them like this, is the Takara one, because of the changes to the feet, does stand a little bit taller, so just bear that in mind as well. So one thing I forgot to mention from that one. Okay, right, now we'll skip to the vehicle. Right, here we are. We've got them both in their vehicle mode, their kind of truck mode. As you can see, they look very much different. So this is a little bit easier for you to see them both side by side, but the Hasbro one is on the right, Takara on the left, and you've got a very different look to the cab. This one is kind of your more traditional G1 looking Optimus or Ginrai. And this one here is remolded from the IDW, well, not remolded, repainted from the IDW Ultra Magnus. So it's more of a futuristic looking kind of truck. So it's kind of beefed up. You've got this huge grille that goes all the way up here with an Autobot symbol on here, and smaller windows in here. The colour of this carries over from the robot mode. So you've got this kind of red, well, slightly off red kind of plastic. The wheels though aren't painted, whereas you look on the Takara one, all the kind of alloys are all painted in as well. These are stickers as well on the side here for the Hasbro one, which have been added. You do have paint all around the front and in the windows, whereas on the Takara one, all of this is painted, including these bits here, as are the windshields, and as I mentioned, everything else on here as well. If you come around, look to the side here, you can see how, they're pretty much the same. You've got all these little attachments where you can put your Titan Masters and things at the top here, and then this bit here is very different. I actually prefer this design to this one here, but I can see how people may opt to go for this one because it's a little bit more understated. At the top here as well, this is all different, whereas this is red plastic, whereas this is grey plastic painted red. Obviously these are different colours. These have got the blue stickers added to them as well. And the guns on top, the Hasbro ones, because they're from the Ultra Magnus one, don't really go that well, whereas the Takara ones look as if they go a lot better. Just because of the, these ones here, you end up having to put this on side on like this, so they don't really look that great. And then if you come around to the back here, you've got another difference as well. So the Hasbro ones legs just tuck underneath here like that, whereas these ones kind of fold up underneath into this space here. The arms as well are different in terms of how they transform out. So the Takara one fold out and push out this way. It has the same effect in terms of the look on the thing on here. The Hasbro one has got their stickers on here as well, and they kind of open up in the same way. If I can get a hold of this, you just have to sort of like pop it out. So you've got the same sort of thing in this one as you do in the Hasbro one in there. So that one's got a few more stickers in there as well. So now the ramp and everything, that's all the same. It really is just down to what you prefer looks wise. I understand that people may opt to go for this one so they can go for their God Bomber, but as mentioned, Hasbro are releasing this guy as Magnus Prime in a set which comes with a whole bunch of other figures as well. So you don't necessarily have to buy the Takara version to get this particular version of the kind of Powermaster Optimus Prime. You could well just wait and pick him up as Magnus Prime in the box set if you wanted to. It depends if you like the other figures that are in the set. Obviously you can see the difference in the Titan Masters. They look very much different. I don't know what the Titan Masters will look like for the Hasbro one. We don't know if it's the same as this one or going to be the same as that one. One would imagine it's going to be the same as this. I think in this mode here, I would say the Takara one wins it. In the robot mode, I'm probably leaning more towards the Hasbro one, just because I prefer the legs aren't perfect, but I think I still prefer them. The arms are better on this one, but yeah, and the hands and everything, but I'm still leaning towards this one. But yeah, definitely in vehicle mode this is better. What we'll do now is we'll transform them and have a look at them in their respective base modes and see what we think. Right then, I've got the two base modes side by side. Hasbro on the right, Takara on the left. And you can see there's quite a few differences in this one, apart from the colours and things that we've already mentioned. This front piece to start off with, the official base mode for this one is with this piece up, which kind of looks like a bit of a part of a base. You just could be like a building or whatever, and you got it in here. I mean, you could have it down if you wanted to, but then it kind of you can't really do much with this space. You can't sit anyone in. Whereas on the Takara one, it folds forward and these bits come in like this. So you still got the kind of building side of it, city side of it, and then you can actually sit your Typemaster in there. He doesn't sit in perfectly, but there is a little groove there which he's supposed to align to, so you can do that. The guns on them go at exactly the same place. You can see the legs look slightly differently, so these obviously just do look like legs that are sticking out, whereas these don't quite. And you've got these bits here that come out as well, so they look a little bit better than what we've got on this one for base mode. They both kind of don't really quite sit flat, I don't find anyway. This one sits a little bit better, and then this one here stands a lot higher because of the way that the arms fold out. You can see where they push out like this, and they fold over slightly differently to the one on here. So on these ones they peg into the shoulders, and then on this one they actually peg into the hands here, which kind of gives it, I think, a bit of a better kind of city look to it. You can also peg the guns in there if you wanted to have these side ones up here if you wanted to, just to give it a little bit of a different look if you wanted to. So you do have a few more options, I find, with this. And then the kind of these bits come out of the back in the same way. I mean, if you wanted to, you could connect them up together. That's right. Yeah. This in here. They are a bit fiddly, some of these ones, but you can connect them up. So yeah, you can connect the two up like that, so you've got kind of two bases running side by side if you wanted to do it that way. That's certainly something you can do that way. That's if you want to connect them in how they're already done like that. Another option is to actually move the ramps to make it fit a little bit better. So what you could actually do is I bring these two round here like this. Let's think of the best way to do this. Right. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave that back as it was there, fold this bit out here like that, leave that here like that, and then bring this one out at the same angle like so. Straighten that up like that, and then you can connect them up this way like that, and then you can kind of have your base going like that. It doesn't mean you've got the two legs pointing forward, so it does kind of change certain aspects of it. I personally would think they're probably better off disconnected or connected the first way that I showed, in my personal opinion. The only, I'm not a big fan of the base mode on this one. I just don't think it really looks like much of a base mode, to be honest with you. If I was going to pick between the two, I would say the Takara Super Ginrai one. It's got it over the Hasbro Powermaster Optimus Prime in that respect. I just think it looks a little bit better. It just kind of looks more like a base mode than this one here. The disappointment about the base modes overall is because the ramps come out over here. If you're connecting anything to it, it's going to connect up to the back of it and come out this way. What you really need, I know Shapeways do them, you can buy them as connector pieces that sort of come around to the side. So really what you would want is a piece that sort of comes round to a corner here like this, so then you can connect it on here and build it up that way. I think that'd be quite good, because you know, if you were able to connect them like that, it suddenly, you know, it might look a little bit better. I know I did show a way to connect it up like that, and I think, yeah, that's not too bad either. I mean, you can open this all up if you want to, if you want to do that and have it like that, so it doesn't look, you know, like you've got the truck on the back there, but I think it probably looks better like that anyway. But yeah, that's it really. Gone through all the modes. Up to you guys which one you prefer. Obviously it's all down to personal preference. I just wanted to point out the difference between the two. So for the moment you've got the two choices. You've got Hasbro Powermaster Optimus Prime, and you've got Takara LG Super Ginrai. They'll also be releasing God Bomber, which will combine with this set to form a larger transformer. And also Hasbro will be releasing their version of this mould as Magnus Prime as well. So there's that to look out for as well as the other completely different mould, but the Voyager Optimus Prime as well in the Titans Return line, which I've also reviewed. So I'll pop out a review of that as well, so you can have a look at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.